Okay, we're trying again. Hopefully, people are going to be coming in. Let me go back to the original stream. Please click on the link provided in chat or below the description or in the description box for new live stream. Okay, so if anybody's in here yet, please verify that it is working. Okay, you can see and hear me. That was weird because everything was showing fine on my end, but I was having an issue with the chat getting to scroll through. I was trying to scroll, so I don't know. Maybe when I set Helga on my keyboard with her glasses on, where'd her glasses go? Because I had her sitting there. You guys missed all the fun stuff too. Because she was singing. She was going, bark, 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 bark. Darn it. Oh, well, I had this fun intro and it all got messed up. Had to go to my reboot stream. So hopefully I don't have to start another reboot stream. When you tried watching Patrick's video, well, that wasn't a live, so that would have been your fault, Tammy. But because that if you notice that video from today, he was standing by the apple tree, but there was no life on that apple tree. And the apple tree is filled in with greenery. It's got blossoms that are coming to an end because it's starting to grow its apples. So it's at least 6 weeks ago that was shot. I'm thinking closer to 2 months because sometimes it takes me a while to get to his videos. He's got a winch one I'm working on. I started working on a while ago. I still have to finish it. It's going to take me forever. It's one of those types that's it's more instructional and in depth, and he's got to show all this stuff, and those can be several hours long to start with, and I got to try to whittle him down to 20 minutes or less if I can. Those take so dang long. So anyway, I'm going to do my greeting now that I'm kind of late. So, hello everyone. Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. So, we're talking about chickens today. Let me go back and see if anybody else is in. Let me double check, see if anyone else. Okay, I don't see anyone else in there. So, of course, once a live stream ends, you can't see it anymore. So, hopefully people will find us okay. I see there's 13 in here, which is better than what was going on the other one. So, let me get a drink of water. My throat's been bad all day today. So, I hope I can make it through this one. Yeah, just bad. I did shoot 2 videos, but I started editing the one and I'm like, "Man, my throat is so gravelly sounding." It's been really rough. I'm sure the pollens in the air and all that, because it's that time of year, are not helping. But I kind of wonder what else is in the air that can be affecting my vocal cords and making it worse. So, anyway, yeah, I don't think it was it certainly wasn't my internet. That was working fine. The weird thing is that it was showing in my studio that it looks just like it does now, showing that I'm live, the timer is going, I could see people in here. It said I was live. I mean, everything was good, but not according to what you guys were telling me. So some of the things, it's not like I've never done a video like this before. I've done a few over the years, but every year I seem to learn a little bit more and learn to appreciate the chickens, even in our little small area, a little more. And it's just been a really, really good thing that I'm so glad that we finally delved into doing. It took us several years because there's always tons of projects and always things that need to be done. And we wanted to have a good, sturdy coop that we knew raccoons could not break into. That was really important, or neighborhood dogs for that matter. Here, it would most likely be raccoons. So, it took time to kind of plan and build. And I'll let you in on something that probably I haven't said in a long time, but the chicken coop, you might notice whenever you see pictures of it, from the outside, you'll see it looks like a tall structure. Well, that tall structure on top, that was the playhouse Patrick built for the kids when they were little bitty. And, my kids are now 30 and 33. So it's been there for a long time, but we decided the best place to put the chicken coop would be under the playhouse. There's already a roof, it's all set. There's plenty of room under there. So the problem was by the time we got around to wanting to build the coop, the posts, they were 4 by 4s, the main posts that were holding up the playhouse, they were starting to rot out, and Patrick really needed to replace them before he built the coop. And he wanted everything, like I said, to be very sturdy to keep the chickens safe. So it was a really, really tricky because he had to lift up the playhouse from each side and take apart the fence, because the fence is also built right, the coop also, or the playhouse also sits on top of the fence, but mostly supported by the 4 posts. So he had to take apart the fence. He had to get his backhoe and then lift up one side of the playhouse at a time, take out the 4 by 4s, and then replace them with treated 6 by 6s. They shouldn't rot, or it should take a very long time. So they're much sturdier, much wider, and then he poured a concrete floor and then built the coop. So, and I've got the playlist for the whole chicken coop build, and then I have the video that, it might not be here, or it's here, it's on this channel, Rain Country Live, that, once he got it all mostly done and he was to the painting process, I did a just kind of a quick run through. It's under 5 minutes of the whole process of him building all the different parts. So it's been a good coop. We're still trying to work on some leak issues that come in when it rains hard, and it rains onto the deck of the playhouse and then seeps through. And, we've tried several different things. He still hasn't quite got it figured out. He thought he did the other day, but then when he went to work on it, he realized this is gonna be a little more complicated than I thought. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at as far as that goes, but we just keep up on it, keep changing I sometimes have to change the bedding, in the coop. I try to do a deep litter method, but sometimes I have to change it more often when it's in the wettest time of the year. But anyway, so as you guys know, most of you, probably everyone that's in here anyway, um, last year we ended up with a rooster, actually by mistake. Now, we've been thinking about getting a rooster for a long time so that we could produce our own chicks, but we kept putting it off considering that we live in a neighborhood, just in a small corner lot, and, we didn't want it to be an issue with the neighbors. Now, I did several years prior talk to our closest neighbors and, to see if they would have a problem with it. I know there's other people around in their, in our neighborhoods here in this edition of our town that have chickens and roosters. And still, I just I don't want my neighbors getting annoyed with me and a rooster. So, after talking to people, it still took me time to finally get brave. And actually, I kind of think it was sort of a godsend because I was supposed to be getting 3 hens from my friend. We did some kind of barter. I can't remember what it was that time. Well, one of them ended up being a rooster, and they thought it was a hen. But I am so blessed to have Antonio. And so we just did our 3rd hatching. We did 2 hatchings last year that ended up being really small. Antonio was still pretty young. So a lot of the eggs each time didn't get fertilized, but I ended up with 4 chickens out of the first one. 3 of them were roosters, 1 was a hen. And then out of the second one, I ended up with only 3, and 2 of them were roosters and 1 of them was a hen. As of now, I have no clue how many of the 10 that I have this time. So this time we got 10. We got 10. 11 of them were fertilized out of the 12, which was good. So Antonio's he's doing his job, but one of them didn't make it. And so, but I still got 10. I put that many eggs in because I'm like, I probably might only get half that many, but I got more than I expected. So that was good and it's a blessing. Um, and so I didn't realize back then when I decided to go ahead and because my friend said we can trade him out, once he started crowing. I'm like, well, it looks like Adelaide is not a female. I'm gonna have to change its name to Antonio. She goes, well, you can trade him out for a hen. I'm like, no, I think I'll keep him. And I'm really, really glad I did. I'm really glad I did because even just having the rooster and watching how he interacts with the hens, especially once he got more mature, and he knew what his job was. And it's not just about fertilizing eggs. Roosters have a job that they protect the hens. They're always watching for danger. They let them know where there's good food. And here's the interesting thing of having chickens for several years where I for 7 years where I didn't have a rooster is that there were a couple of my hens, my Buff Orpingtons, that took on certain roles that I always wondered if was meant to be more of a role for a rooster. But if there's no rooster, then the more dominant hens will take on that role. Now, Buff Orpingtons, I love them because not only are they typically very sweet, very kind birds, very easygoing, they're also good at breaking up fights amongst other chickens. But roosters will do that too. But, they'll break up fights with the hens. So the other thing that I noticed, or I wondered what it meant, I guessed what it meant, but I wasn't sure, was I had a couple of my more dominant hens before Antonio came along that would, when they came across something tasty, either it was something I threw out there or they came across a few worms